I've had some bad experiences dating. The main ones that come to mind are when my best friend almost matched with my current girlfriend on Hinge. And by that, what I mean is he didn't almost match with her, but he saw her on Hinge and he sent me a screenshot. And this was the first girl I ever thought I fell in love with, right?
Well, hold on.
So
let's clarify for the people, not your current girlfriend.
No.
At the time was current.
At the,
live current
this is
at
like,
the time of the story.
This is IRL of the story girlfriend
That's
back in the 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Okay.
3 to 4 years ago. I'm
We're
dating
laughing
her.
now.
Yeah,
this
was
not a laughing
dude,
matter.
This was talk about PTSD, dude. This dude Chase sent me a screenshot of my then girlfriend on Hinge.
Like, is it all right if I hook up with your girl? What's
He said,
that's not what I said.
he said, "Hey, you better catch your girl." He thought that she just forgot to delete her Hinge account because we'd only been dating.
Fair, reasonable thing to think about.
Yeah, we'd been dating like
a few months,
3 months.
Yeah, it was a few months at that
like
point.
it wasn't like it was pretty fresh. And so I was freshly falling in love, thinking I was falling in love. So
head over.
All the way to where I was like ignoring my friends and being a shitty friend. Yeah, just doing all the things.
I was the one.
Yeah. And so I text him back. I think my words, my verbatim was, "I'm going to throw up."
That's what he said.
I said. And I went over to her apartment and grabbed all of my things, and I was in a whirlwind of emotions and feeling sad and sorry for myself and disgusted and vomit. It was a whole thing.
Did you discuss it or did you just grab and go?
Of course, I stayed with her for like 9 more months.
I mean, at the moment, in the moment.
Yeah, she was at work, but she was this whole, she was pretty, how do I word it? Awful. Just towards me, like in the relationship, if that's
she
what we're referring to.
participated in pure scumbaggery daily.
Yeah, I remember.
So it was a whole excuses of, because I had just taken her to Eureka Springs of, I felt too like you were too much and I needed some space. So her excuse,
romantic, too much of a good guy.
I gave you Chase's spot for that. Chase went to Eureka Springs, and I took the idea and went to Eureka Springs. Then I gave it to you to take her to Eureka Springs,
and that didn't work. And she said
didn't work for me either.
Yeah, she said that she needed to talk to someone, and I was like, that's a weird dating. Yeah, whatever. That should have been my sign. That should have been
that.
No, it was. Blake was like, "Oh yeah, cool. It makes sense."
Makes sense.
And then moved forward with her.
Not really what happened, but kinda. You never don't.
You were desperate per usual.
I wasn't making the right decisions. She then went on to do all sorts of this, that, and the third scumbaggery of the talking to her ex the whole time we were together and manipulation and all that fun stuff. So.
Moving away out of town.
Yeah.
Who knows what she was doing out there?
Down in different area codes.
Yeah, dick down in Dallas, even though she was in California. Yeah. So
Cock down in Cali.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the next Cali.
And the biggest that was before.
That was the previous Cali.
That was the previous.
She was before?
Yeah.
Why does that seem more recent?
Get your stuff together,
Hold on.
Chase.
Wait. You were entering with a horror story, and you didn't start with the church.
Oh, okay.
Now that I'm thinking about
the
it.
quick best horror story is I was dating this girl. She had Tourette's, and I'm talking full blown. I'm talking the twitches and the N-words. I'm talking everything you can imagine. She's saying
profanity.
The way it worked for her was the whatever she shouldn't say, she said. Like whatever she felt in her heart, don't say this.
The opposite thing of what you should say.
She said, and she obviously couldn't control it. Well, she used to be a Jehovah's Witness. And she got excommunicated for dating an atheist before she dated me, which I also too am an atheist. So she wanted to go support or go celebrate this like Jehovah's Witness holiday. So we went to a church that wasn't her church because she couldn't go to hers because she was excommunicated. And it was downtown. And
excommunicado.
Because she wasn't good at communicating. I get it.
Yeah. Now she's my ex. And so we went to this Jehovah's Witness church downtown. We were the only 2 white people there. And she was saying.
Everybody else was like Asian?
They were all black. She was saying the N-word every 4 to 6 seconds.
Like loud or whispering or?
Oh, she was. So we're in the church and she is literally leaving teeth marks in my shoulder to try not to, she like compulsively say it. She was biting my shoulder to try to keep. And so you see, I'm looking around. I'm
That's
like,
rough, dude.
yeah, half the people are looking at us. They're kind of understanding. Half the people are looking at us like they wanted to fucking kill us. We left about halfway through. I was like, we got to get out of here. This is bad. Some of these people don't know or understand.
That's terrifying, dude. And I mean, I can only imagine how uncomfortable she is because she's obviously like, yeah, I don't want to fucking have to deal with this. And
Yeah.
she just, yeah.
It was a whole thing.
Tourette's is a son of a bitch, dude. There's that one girl, is it Bailey Dupree on TikTok who's got the Tourette's, and she talks about it a lot, which has given me a lot more insight just from her experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
has
want
great
you to-
punchlines. By the way,
I want you to go back and date her just so I can get part of the experience.
yeah.
Peyton was around. Peyton
was around.
got to see it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Wind it up.
Yeah.
On it up. She'll say, "You're done." It's so tight. But I just, yeah, that's an actual horror story, dude.
Yeah.
And you were there for her.
Yeah, we almost multiple. Every time we went out, I almost got in fights with guys because they would be assholes about drunk guys would be assholes about her Tourette's. So it was a whole thing.
Could they not? Is it not obvious? Like, oh, she clearly has Tourette's and can't help herself really. And
I mean,
I think it has something to do with the inebriation.
drunk douchebags suck anyway. They'll
yeah.
just be assholes anyway to regular people, let alone someone that's cussing up a storm and compulsing.
yeah,
It was worse for her whenever she was in public settings or
fuck.
around a lot of people or
So
nervous.
What was the Tourette's the downfall of the relationship? That was the reason?
No, I mean there was a million reasons why it didn't work. Just yeah, it just wasn't gonna work. Yeah, she was hilarious. She was the funniest, probably the funniest human being I think I've ever met.
I feel like you gotta be, or else you're just gonna be. Yeah.
Dude, it
What
took
about
me
funnier
off.
than Vacation Blakeston?
Never.
Okay,
Never.
he
So you
exists.
Guys, so you
just-
guys know there's Blakeston. He's pretty funny. He's
Yeah.
all right. Probably third funniest in this room. And then there's Vacation Blakeston.
Yeah. I am just a vessel to merely let Vacation Blakeston come out whenever it is vacation time.
Yep, it's true.
It's so funny.
And by Vacation Blakeston, I don't do anything crazy. I'm literally just funny. It's a good time.
So as you guys can tell, we are going to be talking about dating today. We've got way more horror stories, but dating in general, dating in this modern era, dating in 2023,
Dating on the internet.
dating on the internet. We've got web-based applications to where you can meet and find your potential true love. Okay, Cupid. Farmersonly.com, blackpeoplemeet.com, which I have 3 profiles on.
Yeah,
There are
RuneScape, buying a girlfriend at the GE, you know.
RuneScape.
What is that RuneScape?
Yeah.
They have a
I
RuneScape?
can't top that.
You
Yeah.
have a RuneScape one?
Did you never play RuneScape when you were a
Don't
kid?
say RuneScape.
No.
You are a
They have an escape room downtown. Yeah.
I've been to one.
RuneScape. Yeah.
Rune.
There used to be. I just remember in like elementary and middle school playing RuneScape, and there'd just always be people buying girlfriend, and that it would just
Are
people,
these
people
other
would trade virtual currency for somebody in game to act like the girlfriend, which was always a guy.
That's what I was gonna ask. Okay, so
and then they
it's
would
another
just chat
It's another
But
real
it's all
life character.
imagination.
Okay, acting
Yeah.
like their girlfriend.
in game.
Wow.
And they would. Yeah.
If
it-
her
And they
wood,
would spend real in-game money. Well, the
No.
money that they actually earned.
Yeah.
if her wood chop wasn't 99, I wouldn't trust it.
Right. She could. Yeah. Fuck yeah, baby.
This one's stupid.
Gentle touch. 120. All right, here we go.
Genital touch.
As you can tell, we're going to be talking about dating. We've got plenty where that came from. The reason I had this idea for this discussion is because, for one, all of the complexities. You know what I mean? It's a different game out there. This is not the goddamn 1950s, and we need to start understanding the framework that we have for finding true love in this day and age is completely shifted. Okay? This is not mom and dad's getting hitched at 17. Fuck that. We're figuring stuff out, and we got to figure stuff out the right way in this, and under the current circumstances. All of us have a different perspective. Kyle is getting ready to get married. I am unfortunately recently single. Blakeston is getting into a new relationship, and Steven's in a long-term relationship. So, and obviously Desi, who's back over there,
He's a married man.
is a married man.
He's a married man.
So we've got different perspectives on the topic, and it's something that you guys obviously are dealing with as well. So I wanted to get into that.
The diversity, my goodness.
Yeah, we cover the whole spectrum.
Oh.
The most important
Where'd you go?
thing is Kyle is getting married and he's moving his wedding for Chase, mine, and Steven's rugby game.
Thank you,
coming up.
Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle, for that.
That's not
Oh.
true. Yeah, not true at all.
I was hoping
The
that would
opposite.
work.
And we
I was
just got
hoping that would
punked.
convince him, but
Yeah.
it didn't.
But before we get into that, we do want to give a quick thanks. Steven,
Thank you.
Good job.
What am I thanking for?
Thank you, everyone that supports us on any social media whatsoever. We appreciate the piss and tits out of it. You know, you out there on TikTok leaving comments, liking, subscribing. And then we want to point out the biggest thing that's most important to
We
us.
have a lot of faithful calendar buyers.
This sexy movie calendar. We got the best rendition coming up here this whenever it's supposed to come
2024.
out. in
Pre-orders
2024.
are available.
Yes.
They're available right
Pre-orders
now.
are live. They should be done by the end of November, right? Is what we're shooting for.
Hopefully.
Like ready to be shipped out by the end of November.
Get yours now so you can get yours.
We've done a few months, and they are the best we've seen yet.
I'm not
Best
gonna
we've
lie,
done
you
yet.
guys. Regarding risque, like I'll go to let me flip to one of these months. You see February. Zoom in on February. For those of you who can't see, it's incredibly sexy, and I give this about a 7 out of 10 compared to what is coming for 2024. So make sure you go pre-order your 2024 Sexy Mover Calendar. Pre-orders available now. Also, thank you to every single person who supports us on Patreon, follows us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, across the board. It means the absolute world to us. If you want us to send a message to yourself or a loved one, need a pick-me-up, need a happy birthday, need a get the fuck out of here, need a hate message, we'll send it. Hit us up on Cameo if you want a private message from your KC boys.
Casey Boys.
LGM boys,
Yeah.
whatever. We'll figure it out.
One
Yeah,
of
thank
these
you
days.
guys.
Yeah, and make sure to just leave a comment on this video and every other video. We love reading comments, especially the funny ones. There's some funny motherfuckers out there, and we get off onto reading your comments.
Wow.
Yeah, baby.
Seriously, I did.
Yeah. I'm serious about that.
baby.
I would rather you leave a funny comment than go subscribe to our Patreon. If I'm
All
being
of a
honest.
sudden, I have a tear running down my leg.
Great points,
Yeah.
the both of you.
Nice. All right, so I guess we'll get right the fuck into it. As you guys know, unless you are one of those incredibly fortunate individuals who is asexual and finds no sexual attraction in any person ever, which God bless your soul, that you don't have to deal with the bullshit, the turmoil, the heartache, heartbreak. And
Yeah, but the heartbreak leads to appreciating the good things, right?
it
a little-
potentially could.
A little ignorance is bliss, guy. If you're asexual, you don't know what you're missing, but you also don't have to deal with the hardships.
Yeah. They
Who knows?
say it's
And
better.
I don't think you care if you are asexual.
It's a good fucking point.
Well, that's what I'm. Yeah,
They
we're
say
saying
it's
the same
better
thing.
to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all.
but whenever
Who
you
says that?
lost, whenever you love then lost, you don't feel that at that moment. You do not feel that. You feel like it's
But
not
always later you do.
always later.
I'm telling you right now, I'm getting married, but after my first serious girlfriend breakup, I pouted for 4 years.
How long were you with her?
4 years.
Oh fuck, that's
I
fair.
said I'm
Equal time.
I said I'm staying single for the amount of time that I was with her,
That's the recovery period.
and I did just that.
Cool
Yeah.
down
It was
period,
almost
yeah.
it was almost to the fucking T.
And
to
then
the
you-
dot.
Yeah.
And then you planned the cruise and met Henley on that day.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it
Nice,
works.
Right when your heart was available.
True love.
That is fucking true love. Circumstantially worked out nicely, and now you really doing it. You guys have lasted. How long have you guys been together, Kyle? You
4
should
years.
you should know
Going
way
on
faster
going
than
on
that.
5 in December. Yeah. So,
Okay.
so,
5 years in December.
no.
That's incredible. You guys met on a cruise right when you were available, and you made it work. And now you're getting married. I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited for your wedding. You bitch found happiness in love. Nice.
That's me.
But other than that, this is something that pretty much everybody's dealing with. If you're not happily married, you're dealing with this. And unfortunately, in my experience and from the marriages that I've come across, or even long-term relationships, a lot of people aren't happy and they're just doing it for, or seem unhappy, but I guess that's only their judgment to make. But they, it's something that people can relate to, and a lot of people are dealing with, trying to find some fucking love, which I've got thoughts on anyways, and monogamy in general.
Generalities.
You don't want to be tied down to just one person.
Not necessarily that, but anything that is like, this is how it is, and there's no actual reason why, but it's just kind of how things have always been done. Anything that is that, I like to question. So the fact that it's just the norm to be monogamous, which I'm not saying it's good or bad. I don't care, but it does make me question. It's like, well, why is that the case? Because you think about how humans operate. I think about how I operate. And I think about how quickly how fleeting feelings are, and how quickly things change. And, the value in sticking through something versus the value of, prioritizing true happiness and long-term happiness. I don't know. I don't know that monogamy is the answer. I don't know it's not the answer. But that is just the common thing for our culture, is you date one person, you try to find somebody you want to marry and somebody you want to be with. But
Isn't that a church thing?
what if there's a better way?
Well,
It
you're
fucking might be.
You're a fucking caveman, and you fall in love just even with a waitress that brings you good food. So I mean,
That's true.
That's mainly a food thing.
I was at Broken Rice, and the only that you guys, this Vietnamese restaurant, the only way
Fire.
to describe how good it tasted was a euphoria
True love.
of infatuation, borderline true love. I said, what is this feeling that I'm feeling from my stomach, which migrated to my pecker, which found its way to my heart?
Which shot
Guys,
up. It shot up and landed
they-
on your heart.
They say the quickest way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
I was
It's
laying on
true.
my back, so it landed on my heart. I was laying on my back, so the true love shot up and landed on my heart.
So he felt it in his heart, on his heart.
No, honestly, I'm a freaking caveman. So the fucking incredibly good short ribs it was in. If I close my eyes and you're doing a blind study, it's the exact same sensation of true love.
That was the exact same.
Not the double blind study.
Close your eyes.
For a caveman like myself, it's indistinguishable from true love. So, you guys, I have these weird emotions that anytime any strong emotion, it just manifests as anger. My daughter does good at reading her math. I'm like, oh, what the fuck is going on? I fucking try to hype her up, and I threw her through some drywall the other day. She don't weigh but 35 pounds.
You
So
can't
she
help that sometimes.
She had it coming.
out of pure love and, hyping her up and telling her good job and telling her how wonderful she is. I threw her through the drywall, and she was laughing. We're all having a good time. There's a hole in the wall. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, let's get into some stuff. Let's talk about you, Blake. First up,
Hey.
you're getting into a new relationship just out of a few years ago, a very bad relationship that everybody else hated and told you to get out of years and years ago that you didn't. So let's hear your experiences with this.
That's not
Go on.
exactly
The
what happened.
things-
I told him, I was like, hey, you see it. And he was like, yeah, I see it. And then he just kept doing it anyways.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. You don't really make. I personally don't make the best decisions once feelings are involved, and
Speak
I
for
feel
the
like
group.
I feel like that's a common thing. It's always easy. I'll literally be talking to someone and they'll be going through something. I'm like, yeah, you're stupid. What are you doing? Don't deal with that. And then I was dealing with 10 times worse and sticking around doing way worse things. So, the ex situation was shitty, but I am talking to someone now and starting up something new, and it does feel really good. It's that feeling of like euphoric, just genuinely happy to talk to someone every day. And
Infatuation.
How'd that go
infatuation.
down? Has that been a pleasant little experience for you?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I met her
You're
on
welcome.
Kyle's cruise.
You're welcome.
Well, hold on, because I'm the one who told him to go pursue that, because she kept on coming around tooting your horn, and you was ignoring her. I
She
was
was
like, what are you
literally
doing,
tooting his horn.
dude?
Yeah.
I was like, she keeps coming up and fucking with you. Go talk to her. And then he built up the courage.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. Steven's the only reason I'm talking to
It's
her.
the sole reason.
Yep. And so talked to her on the cruise and been talking to her ever since, pretty much.
Just to set the scene, because Blakeston's leaving out some incredibly important details. She's fucking hot.
She's a smoke show.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I'm pretty into her. She lives out of town, so I went to visit her a couple times, and she is coming to my game in Chicago this weekend. She's
Fuck
flying
yeah.
to Chicago.
Fuck, baby.
So I'm pretty
Nice.
excited. Yeah.
You got a hotel
It's good
room?
stuff. I will flirt
Yeah.
with her when she gets there.
Yeah, we got a hotel room, but
Chase is single, watch your back.
it's pretty.
Watch your back and your girl's back.
I canceled her flight because Chase is single now.
Seriously, wipe it off your back, because I will come for her.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, God.
I didn't mean to say that. That just slipped out, you guys.
No, it's been good stuff. It's obviously like it's a long distance, so there's trials and tribulations that come with that. But it's exciting. It's always exciting to. I go through a lot of periods of like not talking to people or whatever because it's demoralizing dating someone for a couple dates and then it not working out, whatever. So
Oh,
it's
it's rough
nice
out
to,
there. I wouldn't know, but it's rough out there.
Yeah,
Kyle ain't even been out there to know. He just looked out the window and said, nah, I'm good.
I went through like a 2-year period of I'd go on 1 date or 2 dates with someone and be incredibly disinterested. And I started feeling awful, like constantly feeling that way. So it does feel good to be very interested in someone and feel those feelings reciprocated.
Which I would try to tell you, that's just because you have high standards, and you might as
Yeah.
fucking well, when you have the option to be picky, you might as well be picky.
In today's world where you can literally talk to any girl anywhere,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, if you're Blakeston, look at him. My God.
Yeah, I'm a
like
fat
why
bitch.
why settle for somebody that doesn't make you feel a way you want to feel?
Yeah.
Right.
Couldn't agree more.
Egregious.
Yeah,
How many
I agree.
dates have you guys been on trying to get to know a girl better with hopes for romance?
To me, it's hard, dude, because I just always want to see the best in people, and I don't like to do that because then I just am an idiot.
Well, I mean, not just like
Wait, say
one night
reword your
stand
question.
stuff. No, I'm talking about to get to know them better, to potentially
How many?
girlfriend.
You mean so not like first dates? You mean
Not first dates, but like with the intention of I want to get to know this girl and I
to
want
see
to
if
date
you're
her,
interested? Yeah,
become,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I only ask because I've not been on not one single date for that purpose, ever.
I mean, anytime I've been on a second date, probably. So I probably 10, probably like 50 or 60. I don't know.
Jesus.
I mean
I
that.
know, Chase, you've been on
See,
more than that. Got to be. It seemed like.
Chase be dating 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 girls at once.
That's not true. That is not
Just
true.
three-
Listen,
three was
It
the
was like
max,
4 or
probably.
5.
listen, ladies, if you're out there and you're hot, it's not true. It's not. Hello. No, it's just hard, dude, because like it's sometimes you're just not even ready. And I one thing I've learned about myself from my own emotionality, I literally cannot even begin to think, oh, I feel this way. This is what I'm doing right now. And I'm doing this because this. I literally never know. I just go with the flow and try to communicate honestly with whoever I'm talking to or engaged with or dating or hang out with, that it's like, listen, I'm fucking lost and I'm okay with that. If you're not okay with that, that's on you. We don't have to do anything that is you think would lead to an unhealthy relationship, because I only want happiness and healthy for anybody and everybody involved always. But it's like I'm lost in the fucking sauce, and I'm not afraid to admit it, and I don't care to not admit it. But I do like getting to know people, and I do like, because I think most people, I think most people are beautiful and have a lot to offer, if I'm being honest. And I've seen that, and I think like if it was you and one person of the gender you're attracted to left on Earth, you would find a way to fall in love with them. You would not help but have to see everything about them. You would not help but have to see everything they struggle with or think about or battle with or how they feel about the world, and you would not be able to not fall in love with them. That's my theory.
So back to you dating
Beautiful
multiple
theory.
people at once. What happened with that? Whenever you were doing that, what happened with the fake?
I thought it was under a common understanding.
Good tangent.
I thought it was
Yeah.
under a common understanding of don't ask, don't tell. You not bringing it up? Good. I'm not bringing it up. So
No, there's no don't ask, don't tell, because there was a Facebook account made about it.
I'm saying
of a Jane Doe.
between me and the Jane Does. I thought they weren't bringing it up, so I wasn't bringing it up. But yeah, I was
I
dating.
mean, we're here.
Yeah, I was dating 2 girls, and it was literally brand new. Both were literally brand new. It was
To know
3.
2 girls, yeah.
Oh, we're not even.
There was 3.
That's a big misconception with today's world, is that like there isn't really no we are boyfriend girlfriend. It's like we're talking, and then it's just kind of like morphs. So like, how do you distinguish the talking stage
to me.
into you're dating somebody and you can no longer be talking to anybody else? Because now
This is easy.
it seems to be like most people think if you're talking to somebody just to try and figure it out, you can no longer talk to anybody else.
It is a
to
gray
try and figure
area.
it out.
It was a gray area to me that as a fucking, if you're a scumbag, which I definitely was and didn't care, you exploit that gray area. To me, it's just, you definitely just have to talk. You have to talk, and you have to communicate things, and you say, hey, here's where I'm at, here's what I'm feeling. But that's the difference between a fucking 22-year-old, 24, 25-year-old and a 30-year-old. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's definitely like, okay, yes, I'm dating other girls, but she hasn't asked me, so I'm not gonna say anything. And it's like, well, don't.
And by
don't
dating,
do
it's not
that.
like he was. It's not like he was seeing these 3 girls for months. It was
It was all
couple
happened
dates.
at once. This is what happened. So I'll start at the beginning. Just on the dating app, obviously, there's plenty of fish out in the sea. You just match with some girls, and you have
you're
no
Chase.
clue. You have no clue what's gonna be what. So to me, I just keep doors open. Just be lovely, friendly, be myself, whatever. And I like being nice. I like taking girls out. I like taking them to dinner with no expectations. Hey, let's go have a nice dinner. I like to have excuses to go
Richie restaurants.
to go out to nice dinners. That's just me. Me and Blake didn't share
I'll
this.
go with you.
Steven will get thrown in there if we fucking make him come, which is weird. But I like nice food, and I like to take a pretty girl out and have nice food. Like what?
Yeah, I'll do it then.
That's just all funny. I will pull your hair from behind, sir.
He's scared. Steven's scared of nice food.
He
wants to go
goes
to a
nice
midnight
restaurants and
diner.
gets chicken fingers.
Yeah.
False.
So I
Completely
burger.
false.
So I match with these. I match
like
with this
exotic.
girl. I match with this girl, and she's lovely. Take her out. Boom. it's one date.
Girl number one.
That's one date. Of course, there's other girls who you just message, text, whatever. Hey, how's
Look
it
at
going?
him.
Stop it.
You are not obligated to only date one girl whenever you're getting to know or looking for a partner.
To me, until you have that discussion, you should assume
you're not exclusive.
that you're not exclusive.
Yeah.
Which of course, now I'm telling you guys right now, for those of you who've never dealt with it, when you have pure unadulterated fucking testosterone flowing through your blood, it's a different game. It's a different game. It makes you feel and think and do things that a rational human being would not do. But that said, you just talk to girls and then, okay, hey, I'm available. Hey, are you available? You go out on a date. Let's go out some dinner, blah, 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 boom. Then all of a sudden you're kind of entangled with two girls at once.
Wow, I'm impressed.
At
And then-
separate times.
Oh,
And then
Entangled relationally.
and then the third.
And then the third happened, and that was at that one was an accident. So it just sort of all played out naturally over the course of like 2 weeks that I was like, oh, I'm kind of talking. As soon as I decided on one girl, this is what happened. I had to have a
Not your pick of the litter.
I liked one girl
Well
more.
said.
I liked one girl more than the rest, so I did have those discussions.
Yeah.
I knew one of the three really liked me, and I had to have a very hard discussion with her, and it was straight up. I was FaceTime with her. I said, "Hey, blah blah blah. I can't,
How hard can it be after a week of dating?
That's what I'm saying. You say that, but once there's feelings involved, it does get hard. So I told her, all right, we're getting way into details. Long story short, these girls went crazy.
Yeah, two of them, not all three.
Not
two
all
of them.
three. One is regular, and I've actually seen her since. Blah blah blah. Two went
Seen
absolutely
her.
crazy.
Seen her bent over.
You guys are fucking idiots. Two went crazy. I owned a moving company with the homies at that point in time. They created a fake Facebook
Together.
page. I think it was together.
This ties into our next segment, horror stories.
This is the horror story. Created a fake Facebook page and a fake Gmail to leave a fake Google review and a fake Facebook review, and using some incredibly unkind and untrue, defamatory but in nature accusations.
Slanderous.
Pretty cruel stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, what?
And very untrue.
I was like, what the fuck just happened that, like,
Using words such as grooming,
okay, for the record,
manipulating.
this girl was 24.
Yep.
Was she 24?
No, the one was like 22.
Okay.
The other one was the teacher was like 26 or 27, I think.
Yeah.
I think she was a little older.
Yeah, she was my age. One was 26 or 27.
Which
I
you were
was
26
or 27, and the other one was 22. And she said the crazy one used words like Steven said, grooming and manipulating young girls. And I was like, you can't just fucking say that.
Yeah.
I was like, and then Blake was like, how old is she? I was like, dude, she's like 22 or 23. She was
old enough to know better.
Yeah. I was like,
Not
dude, that's so fucked. But
And it's not, like I said, it's not, I was there the whole time. Chase and I have lived together for years, and I went on dates, his first dates a lot of the times.
Being together.
It would
for
be,
food reasons.
yeah, we would hang out, we would, the whole night. So I was there, and nothing he did, well, it's not like they dated for months. It's not like, I think he literally at most went on 2 dates with each of these individuals. It was not I'm staying over there 5 nights a week for months or anything like that. So for someone to get this bent out of shape, I understand being into someone, them saying, hey, I'm not into you, whatever, but
That's
over
not
it.
what. Yeah,
Get
that's
over it.
not what happened. That
Yeah,
is.
I remember-
Blake said's exactly right. In my heart, I was literally talking to him like, dude, I like them, but I don't want to lead them on. Literally open communication with at least Blakeston as the stuff was going down.
And we talked about it. The only thing to do different in that situation is shoot yourself in the foot. So if you, the first day, say, I want to see other people, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's being incredibly open, but that could give the wrong idea. That could make it seem like you're disinterested in them, which isn't necessarily the case, and instantly shoot that opportunity down and mislead them to think that you're trying to play the field or be, it's hard to like be incredibly open with someone that doesn't know you and know your true intentions while also be able to pursue other things until feelings grow. So I don't know what the right thing to do there is. I think you did 100% the right thing. I think that you literally told both of them when you were interested in one over the others, hey, I'm feeling, this is the case. And that is, the proof is the one that he was interested in he told her everything that happened with the two crazy ones, and she laughed.
Yeah.
She was a mature adult
was
and understood, yeah, you were dating multiple people. That's funny that they did crazy shit and laughed about it, and it was all good. So
Yeah.
there's your proof in the pudding.
Yeah. So that just leads like into the next thing, I guess we never really clarified with you, Blakeston. Are you, did you, have you done, are we boyfriend, girlfriend, or is it just gone from talking into
glad you said
talking
that.
into assumptions of we're dating
Of
or
exclusivity.
yeah, of exclusivity?
I'm glad you said that. So I actually asked her to be my girlfriend, and she rejected me. I'm just kidding. So
But seriously, he's not kidding. But go explain.
I'm not kidding, but I'm being jokey about it. We definitely are exclusive in that we are not seeing other people. And that's made clear through actions for sure. And
Does Chase count?
she knows about me and Chase.
But do you know about chasing her?
I know about if I'm talking to a girl in a relationship, I know about you and her.
Okay.
I asked her the last time I went to visit to be my girlfriend, which I was incredibly nervous for because of PTSD and scared and frightened reasons.
You haven't had a girlfriend since?
Since the ex.
Well, hold on, because how can you be so confident and then also be scared like that? That doesn't even.
To put
I wouldn't
yourself
have thought you'd been that nervous.
100%. I am confident in a lot of ways, but to put yourself out there, I was all the way heartbroken and shambles whenever my ex was doing shitty things to me. So
There were tears involved.
I was cutting onions, and
Okay.
to put yourself out there.
That reminds me of the jalapenos, which we'll tell him
God.
later.
To put yourself out there for me, because I definitely get very attached and excited
Clingy.
and
He loves with his whole heart, you guys.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing wrong, not a
and-
goddamn thing wrong with that.
so
Yep, there it is, right there on his sleeve.
yep.
Yep.
The
And
heart.
so I was very scared to make that step, not because I was worried about if I was into her or anything. I'm definitely into her. It was just scared of what that opportunity means and all that. She was as graceful and kind as someone could be
Letting
with the
you down.
rejection.
What,
And it
can
was
you,
not-
joke?
it
Can
was
you go
not-
through and
yes.
remember the verbiage and what'd she say? How'd it go down?
It was basically, it's not that I don't want to be your girlfriend. I just, with the long distance and us only seeing each other occasionally for a couple days at a time, it is a lot to commit to, and just kind of wanting to make sure that it's something we both want and take our time with it, which I'm 100% here for.
How old is she?
25,
How old are you?
27.
She's mature.
Yep. So I at first, of course, it kind of hurt. Like I was like, because it feels like rejection, but she was as kind as can be, and it makes perfect sense. And there's since then, it's been nothing but still our feelings growing for each other. And I'm excited to see what that means.
As people who usually just full send it, Blakeston, I respect me
Yeah.
and you. I respect her. And looking back, it's like, well, yeah, that's obvious that's the right thing.
Yeah.
What a smart woman. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Good
She's
gal.
way too good for you.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm excited. We'll see. I'll beg and plead and pester her this weekend. And I'll give her an ultimatum that if she doesn't say yes, then I'll slash her tires.
Yeah, seriously.
You'll fly all the way to Georgia and slash your tires.
I will harm myself if you don't date me. Seriously,
Oh,
watch
no.
me. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
but anyway, very for being rejected, very happy with the situation I'm in.
She's lovely. I can't
Great
I can't
rejection.
attest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been rejected and been happier.
Yeah.
100%.
Great story.
All right, Steve, let's hear your experiences. You and Alex have been together for a while. You have 2 babies, and you're not married. What's your thoughts, theories on love and?
I'm in a stable relationship.
You guys are my favorite lesbian couple, I know.
Talking about, we went to a restaurant that I know Steven frequents, and I said, do you know our friends Steven and Alex? And she was like, no. I was like, it's the lesbian couple. They come in with the 2 kids. She's got the curls, the mullet. And she's like, oh, yes. And she knew instantly once we said that who we were talking about. And that's not a joke. This
Well,
is
Chase
100% how it went down.
Stole my joke, but yeah, I said the
I
lesbian
said
part.
the funny part, and
He
Blakeston
said the
was sitting next
long
to me.
hair, and I said, yeah, the lesbian couple, and everyone laughed, and Chase just now told it, which I respect as if he said it.
Who do you guys believe? All right, Steven, go.
I don't know. I mean, we're in a stable relationship. We're not married yet. We're not in any in any rush for that.
You're not.
You're not, or because I've heard her saying a lot of things.
And
I
seen TikToks
I
about
see
it.
comments
Well, hold
all
on.
the time.
This is not a joke. I have heard her saying it. Yeah.
Well, that's just for the drama of the internet world.
Oh, you
I
guys are
hope.
selling it. Yeah, you guys are
Oh.
selling it.
Even before the internet, though, whenever she was saying
She
it,
was giving me. She's giving me lip when there's no internet around.
she said that she'll marry me, and
We're
she
still
hates
trying
me.
to figure each other out. But yeah, we've got kids. I mean, to be honest, I don't plan on being with anybody else. I don't want to be with anybody else. I want to make it work with her. Right now, mainly our focus is on our kids and making them as happy as can be. And we used to be all about each other, lovey-dovey. We will rebound on that, and it's just a matter of I only have so much love to give. It feels like
And you give most of it to me, which I appreciate.
Yeah,
to
we get
Blakeson
most of it.
and-
The kids get the leftovers, and Alex is at the bottom.
No, seriously, the girls. I mean, I'm so fucking busy. The girls get a majority of my love and attention, and then Alex gets the scraps, just like you're saying. Which I mean, isn't healthy for our relationship, but it'll fix itself.
I respect the way you do things. I respect having no fucking rush. Fuck what anybody else thinks other than what you guys are trying to
I
do.
get bullied on the internet on a daily basis, and I
And
am not
IRL by
and
us. Don't forget about that.
I'm
Let it be
not
known we
concerned
bully
with it.
him. Yeah.
I know what I want to do. And I know how I feel, and it'll happen eventually.
If there's one thing I know about Steven, he's only going to do what he wants to do. He's done.
will
I
never
bet he
change.
likes the comments where they're roasted. That's just engagement and metrics as far as he's concerned.
I mean, it's not that I don't like it. It's just like I don't fucking care.
I'm
Steven?
all 7 of the profiles that leave that leave all the shit
It's
talk.
all women. I see it in the comments, Steven, on your videos. It's all women talking about
This
if you don't
number.
marry her.
Where the
she's
ring
such a
is.
queen.
Where the
you
ring
better
at.
lock it down or someone else will. Shut your bitch
Bitch
ass
ass
up.
Yeah.
Shit.
Steven
just
is
gotta-
the most stubborn, will do what he wants, does not matter
Respect.
what other people think, which I respect,
Respect.
the piss and tits out of.
I respect the fucking cock and shaft out of
Yeah,
that.
the gooch and
The taint and chocolate dirt star
Taint,
out of.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even that. It's just whenever
I
I
wasn't
have
done.
a goal. Continue.
I
Sorry for the
respect
interruption.
I respect that cute little mud button out of that.
Yeah,
dude.
that fucking chocolate dirt star. Yeah, baby.
Fuck, baby.
I mean, I have my goals, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to make those happen. I've learned the opposite from way too many people to not follow your goals and what happens to that and
Fuck yeah.
the outcome of that. And I'm gonna do what I have to do to make my goals happen.
How long have you
Respect.
guys been together?
7 years.
Good job.
God damn.
Yeah, you're fucking doing it. Whatever.
7 damn years.
Good job about that.
Good
We've
job
got
on it.
several more to go. I feel like whenever I die, what like my main, what's gonna flash through my eyes before I die is the relationship I've had with Alex.
Yeah.
And because like she's the one who's there at every single night and through the ups and downs, so I feel like I don't need to focus my attention on her at this moment, fully. That time will come.
Just to be clear, I'm there pretty much every single night. You just don't see me through the blinds. It's just hard to see me whenever I'm there.
Whenever
though. I need you to know that I am there. Yeah.
And the thing is, I mean, right
I'll
now,
be
just trying to
there.
grow the social media and make a career happen out of this stuff. I can't commit a lot of time to her.
What
And
it is.
I mean, it is hard on the relationship, but we do what we can, and
You guys
we'll have
is-
so much time here soon in the future.
Your guys' relationship is so solid that it doesn't need that full blown attention right now. You can't afford. It's so good. You can't afford to do other shit.
Yeah, in like fucking 10 years, it's just gonna be us. You know what I mean? The kids are gonna be doing their own thing. It's just gonna be us chilling with each other,
you're not gonna be
watching,
friends
and
with us anymore?
laughing and learning. I mean, like in the household.
I'm
But-
just kidding.
So we have so much time that why rush now whenever we could be giving that love and support to the kids and our careers and whatnot? We've got time.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting at.
Respect.
I am not rushed.
Kyle, how did you know you wanted to get married?
The wet worm.
Was that good?
No, it was just I knew from like when I so it started with my last relationship before Henley, which was high school into college, and it was a whole 9 yards. And I remember just it ended up not being what we had thought. We were young, we didn't know anything, which everyone says that in the moment, and you're just like, oh fuck everybody else, they don't know.
It doesn't feel like you don't know anything.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it, but you don't. You
really don't.
really do not. And I don't now. And
I
I
still
didn't.
don't.
I had even less knowledge then.
Right now, we know that we don't know. That's the
Yeah.
only difference.
Yeah.
Must be
And
nice.
so I was like, fuck it. I was with her for 4 years. I'm going to be single for 4 years. And, wherever that takes me, wherever that goes, there were plenty of girls that came along that, showed their intention to want to date and to be exclusive and to do things. And I was just like, nah, like I'm sticking to my guns. I can't, like, I'm sorry. It's just not going to work.
You were unavailable, my friend.
This is fun. I'm not emotionally available. And that ran its course, and then I met Henley, and it was almost at like we met on a cruise. We went on a cruise for a company. We did a company cruise. We took all of our workers.
The cruise.
We went on the cruise.
This was
I was there.
insane. So me, Chase, and Steven and Blakeson was there in spirit. We took our company on a cruise, and I think I met Henley the first night on there. It was a 7-day cruise, and from maybe it was like day two, I was like, fuck. When we just started talking, she lived in the same apartment complex as me. So we're both from Kansas City.
What are the odds to be in the same city, let alone the same
That's
neighborhood?
divine intervention.
Yeah,
Right.
lived in the same apartment complex. Had never met each other. I'm sure we had talked about people we knew, like we knew the same people, been at the same parties type number, but I don't think ever even talked to each other. I don't remember seeing her. But I was like, man, like if I keep talking to this girl, like this is gonna follow me back home, and then like I'm gonna date this girl, and if I date this girl, then I have to marry her. So like in my head, I was like, the next girl I date, like I'm just gonna like it's gonna be the one. I'm gonna be one and done. And
I want you guys to know something about Kyle. He does not fuck around.
Seriously. So it ended up playing out exactly like that. We continued. So I've talked about it a lot. 7 days on a cruise. So in the dating world, even when they're in town, like in the beginning of the relationship, you go on a couple dates, you see them maybe a couple nights a week for a couple hours. They stay the night every once in a while.
Good for you.
On a cruise, it was 12 hours, 7 days in a week. And I was like,
Accelerated.
yeah, I was like, this is getting to know somebody. You're stuck on a ship, hanging out with them. 12.
That's Love
more
Island.
than 12 hours a day, like 18 hours a day, because we were getting 6 hours of sleep. It was an insane amount of time for getting to know somebody that when we got off the ship, it was like almost instantly we started hanging out and then dating officially dating a few months after that. And then it's just been, we've both been incredibly open in the relationship and talking. And, obviously it's not perfect and we have our fights and disagreements, but we're both good in the understanding that we want to make it work and we want to put in the work and effort to make it work. So we just talk about the things that the hard things that need to be discussed and do that to the best of our abilities without being emotional and attached, and understanding that both of us need different things and trying to make that work for each other.
You're such a fucking adult.
Wow.
Right.
It's frustrating.
What a grown up.
You guys want to know how much of a dad Kyle is? He came over to my house yesterday and hooked up my computer and did all of the things that I don't know how to do. He was over there chugging along, and I'm sitting there just wide-eyed like, thanks, Dad. I have no clue what I'm doing in almost all facets of my life, and Kyle came over, and I appreciate that about
He's a
him.
good father figure.
You're welcome.
I've noticed we're all father figures for each other at some point.
It's true. Well, I don't know if
Someone's
I
got to
am.
do it for us.
Yeah. You guys all are for me. but-
Yeah, because Steven's dad is deadbeat. My dad is dead.
And I'm dead to my dad.
He changed it up.
Me and
I told
Blakeston,
you it would
me and
work.
Blakeston planned that out to throw Steven for a loop.
I knew Steven would like it.
Kyle's the only one who has a dad. Must be nice, you bitch.
Yeah.
Mark's cool.
Kyle-
We've had our differences, but we're cool.
Mark's
We're
pretty
cool
cool.
now.
Notice
pretty
he's calling
cool.
him Mark.
Marky Mark and
He's
the
a
Funky
Mark
Bunch.
Ash trick, yeah. No, he's cool.
Kyle's mom hates me.
Mm.
My mom hates Chase, and Chase's mom kind of
Hates
hates
everybody.
everything. Yeah.
She's starting to like me more.
Is she really?
Dude, my family fucks with me heavy. My family, anytime there's anything, any sort of anything, they come to me and
Okay, man. Of
it's
the family.
kind of a good vibe that I'm picking up
You're the
because
matriarch of the family.
I'm the matriarch. Of course I am because of my motherly instincts. But I be doing shit for my family, helping out my sisters and stuff like that. And I've noticed that if there's any kind of anything, they know that I don't really bullshit about stuff and do my best to communicate clearly and concisely, and that it does help out with
Yeah,
the
which
familial situations.
Which I've noticed and respect, but also throws me for a loop because I mean, if my family was calling me as much as they call you, I would be fucking pissed. I fucks with my family, but like I'm like strictly business, dog.
And he's 9 to 5. He's a 9 to 5 son and sibling.
Chase's family is the family I never had. So sometimes they even call me or ask for both of our help or whatnot, and I like it because I never really had a family growing up that was
when
like
I was
that.
growing up, I lived in the hood in Kansas City, and then we moved to a nicer part of Kansas City called Park Hill School District, and I always felt out of place. I always felt like the poor kid. I always felt like the white trash kid, like the hood kid.
Well, it's because you were.
Yeah,
Well, don't take a. I thought you were
always-
gonna take offense to that, Steven, because of the mullet.
I always felt out of place with all these rich kids and their fucking parents still loving each other and nice houses. I say nice houses, they're regular fucking houses, but I always lived in apartments and or duplexes and or fourplexes growing up. So if you had a house, it was a fucking nice house to me. And I remember always feeling out of place and thinking my family was white trash just because I could see all the things going on behind the scenes. And then as I got older, I realized how fucking lovely my family is and how rare it is for how much my family loves each other and gets along. And yeah, my sisters will have little tiffs, but they literally make fun of each other, like kind of how we do.
Yeah.
It's like, you're being a fucking idiot. And one sister will be pouting. They'll be like, yeah, she's just pouting. She'll be back in a little bit. And it's kind of like that vibe. But I have
They are pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I've learned to realize how freaking lovely and wonderful
I
my
was
family
talking
is.
to Henley the other day, and she was saying, like, just talking about the wedding and, like, my aunts and uncles and stuff, and she was talking about some of them and was like, I don't know if I've ever even, like, had a conversation with so-and-so.
Right.
And we've been to plenty, like, my family gets together. They've been pretty bad about it in recent years, but, like, we used to if there was any indication of a holiday, we were having a family get-together. But she said it's weird because when we go to family get-togethers, like, if someone shows up, nobody like says hi to that person. It's just like walk in, hey, and then like they go do whatever they're doing
with
like,
their wife and kid. Yeah.
Yeah, and which she was saying like her family, like everybody gets up, each individual hug, greets whoever rolls up, and like has a little conversation. And then
Whose family?
It's different.
Henley's family, and I was like,
different
yeah,
dynamics.
my family, like we're just I don't know, we just get up. It's hey, you have a conversation with somebody for a little bit if you've got something to say, but other than that, you don't talk to some of my aunts and uncles I don't talk to at the family event because I don't know, like
They just show up.
I don't
'cause they
got
feel
nothing to say.
obligated
I'm not gonna just
I
small
hate
talk with
that.
my family, you know.
Yep.
Just business. Come on.
Strictly business.
Put it in perspective. I haven't talked to my brother in maybe like once a year. And I have family that lives close by. They don't come to my rugby games, anything. I went into this last rugby game this past Saturday. Chase's family was all there, and they're all freaking out, screaming my name, like excited for me, and it just feels very cool.
I heard
to have that
Violet.
support.
I heard my daughter screaming, "Go Blake!"
She was standing on a cooler cheering my name, and I'm like, that's so cool. It's stuff that I never had growing up, and my dad would come to all my games. My mom would come to a lot of games, but
If he was in town, he would definitely come.
my dad's flying out to come to some game. Yeah, he's a good dude, but it's very cool to have support from my adopted family.
Yeah. We kind of got off on a tangent there talking about family, but I mean, obviously how we're raised and the circumstance that we're raised in is definitely has to do with how we view love and how we view relationships in general. I'm not
It's
even
had
joking.
everything to do with the way that I treat Henley.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad was Steven, strictly business, work. The only difference is that he was working and he was gone. You work from the house, so you still get to spend time with your kids. But my dad was work 4 a.m. to 6 p.m. to have dinner, sits on the couch, passes out. And so like my relationship, and then, that led into a bunch of turmoil for my parents and, almost getting divorced, did go through the divorce and then got back together and
That was a sad time, Kyle. I remember that shit. That
pretty
was
much
fucking
from,
heartbreaking.
like 6th grade all the way through college, like they were either not on speaking terms but still together, but just doing it for the kids. But that ended up just being terrible for me and my brother. And so I'm making it my goal to spend more time with Henley and not really worrying about working super hard and, spending a lot of time working and just putting more effort into Henley and my family is my personal goals, because that's my parents did the opposite. Not that they did a bad job, but it was just, I feel like a lot of people fall into the category just doing what their parents did, and I want to try and do it a little bit different, see if it's any better.
I respect that. I remember when your parents were going through that shit, it was obviously just being your friend was heartbreaking for me. I was like, dude, if Mark and Tiffany can't even make it, I don't care. I'm not trying.
Yeah.
Dude,
I remember thinking
and-
just fucking defeated about your parents struggling, which obviously they're just human beings, just like everybody.
And thinking about like relationships, obviously a big part, you guys all have kids. Well, not all. You two have kids. And
Hey,
you
Desi
think,
too.
oh yeah. And thinking about how my parents split up. I think my parents got married because they found out my mom was pregnant. Split up before I was 1 year old.
Yo, shotgun wedding.
And split up before my dad tells it. I don't know if it's true, but my dad said that he was planning on breaking up with my mom the weekend that she told him she was pregnant.
That's rough.
And obviously, like, that's a mix of emotions, not knowing what to do. So I think
How old were they?
older for parents for sure. I think she was 35 to 36, and I think
Okay.
he was around 30.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but somewhere around there. And so they tried to do the right thing, or at least what they thought was right, and make it work, and then got divorced before I was 1. And I remember they're especially my dad, they have grown a lot as individuals and how they talk about each other and whatnot to me. When I was younger,
Now that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
well, even when I was growing up, they got better as I got older.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, they fucking hated each other.
And they made sure that you knew it.
Yeah, it was.
Boosie.
It definitely, like, I don't think they intentionally were
We're just
like
not mindful of the
Yeah.
impact.
it wasn't like and my dad was mindful. He definitely did his best with what he was capable of, trying to hold stuff in. It was usually like he would have to like defend himself with things. But anyway, definitely talked about each other terribly and used me in the middle, unintentionally. But the reason I'm saying that is because that has a lot to do with how I want to treat someone, especially if, for God forbid, I'm in that situation where I am dealing with an ex that I have a kid with. And that makes me think of you and your situation, because you have an ex-girlfriend that you parent Violet with, and it is the best, like, to everything I can see, the best parenting and co-parenting I've ever seen. And you guys aren't even together. You guys literally do pretty much everything out of caring for Violet, no matter what your guys' history is or what you're going through. And it's cool to see, because it's better than I've seen.
All of that goes to her, because obviously she is in a position to hold a lot of resentment, and she works through it and is wonderful. So
Yeah, but it's just kind of cool, because I see parents sometimes that are together that treat each other like shit or treat their kids terribly or whatever. And then obviously I think of my parents, and it's cool to see that it doesn't have to be. You see a lot of parents just hold that resentment, and they use that on their kids. And you guys are
I think
able
the
to put
biggest
that
thing
past
for
you.
that comes to self-awareness. It's
Yeah.
just being incredibly reflective on, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? And how do these feelings manifest themselves throughout my actions? And just being aware of that whole sort of emotional process is where I think a lot of people, there's a break somewhere in that process.
Yeah.
And it doesn't let them think, oh, okay, I'm treating my spouse like this, particularly in front of the kids. Why is that happening? What is this verbiage or this tone, or what is this? What is this doing? You know what I mean?
And it's crazy that, like, you see a lot of exes, they are unable to understand, just because this is your ex and you might hate them for whatever reasons, you have this kid that you need to care
Way
for.
more important.
And that you being antagonizing to this ex and using your kid has nothing but tenfold, they're going to have issues because of that. So to not be able to put that aside and put your emotions aside and parent the child, you see that all the time, and it's kind of a sad thing to see.
Yeah.
But
I think just from seeing you guys raising your kids, kids are incredibly absorbent of like the information and the things that are going around them. And if you think, I think a lot of parents don't think about that or realize that the kids are just absorbing the emotions and the intentions of things that are being said around them. And it's just,
They pick up on the subtleties, the
Yeah.
things you don't think they would, or wouldn't assume they would, they do.
yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy.
The vibes, they pick up the vibes and the energy and the emotions. And my daughter's a little rat. She'll be going to her grandparents or with her mom and be, I say disobedient, but it's just more disobedient than I would like. It's completely regular for a 5-year-old, and it's just more than I'm willing to put up with or would ever dare to fucking deal with. So she'll be a little rat, and then as soon as she gets back over to my house, it's a good 10 to 15 minute little adjustment period, and then she's back on track. And I'm like, dude, and it's just her, it's just conditioned responses. has figured out a way to get what she wants with her mom.
Pre-programmed.
With her mom, and there's no malice. She's a little 5-year-old. I don't think there's any malice. It's just she gets what she wants. She just is a fucking living organism, and we all do what we do to seek pleasure and get what we want. So she has learned that this way works with these people, which are her grandparents and mom, who are a little bit more nurturing and loving and caring, which ends up manifesting itself as a little spoiled, versus me, where she knows she's not going to get away with that. So even just the subtleties of who she's with and acting a little different, I've noticed, which I want to do nothing but setting a good example with her mother, with any girls that I date or end up with, to set a good example of what loving someone looks like or being loved looks like. That way, only things that she sees are healthy.
Yeah, which that's a good point. We've kind of been talking about the family stuff for a little bit now, but how does having a kid affect dating? Do you think about that while you're talking to somebody? Is like, are you processing, is this girl a good influence to bring around Violet? Like, how's that go? How's
It's
that look?
pretty much the first thing I think about when I decide to be serious with someone is how they would be as a mother or a mother figure or obviously a female role model in my daughter's life. And I mean, I dated a girl for 7 months and she didn't meet Violet. Which is not anything like against her. It's just I want to be fucking certain that the person who meets Violet is one and done. I don't want any sort of instability, which she was exposed. Like I would be FaceTiming my girlfriend and Violet would be around and say hello.
And I mean, 7 months, it's not like you saw her every day for 7 months. It was long distance.
Yeah.
So it was, once or twice a month you would see her, to fly out to see her. It's not like tons of opportunity for her to meet Violet, but yeah.
Yeah. And but it's just, I don't know. It does add a new dynamic. It does add another variable of things to be mindful of. And of course, put your daughter first and think about, how anything that she's exposed to and what she sees, how is that going to affect her? And just being mindful of that.
Well, that makes me think you were talking earlier about monogamy. Whenever you start dating 5-6 girls and long-term relationships with all of them, are you going to
7, 8.
introduce all of them? Is there going to be a succession? How does that work?
I do have questions regarding monogamy, and I don't know, and I don't want to sound like a scumbag, but it's just simply in the same air of questioning everything, from the same framework and heart space of, well, don't just accept it. Think about why, being mindful and asking, why are we doing this? Why are we monogamous? Who says that is the right answer to become happy, to live a happy, fulfilling life?
Yeah.
If you have healthy, happy communication and among everybody, and there's no lies, no deception, no manipulation, none of that, I don't know that monogamy is the answer. And I don't know that marriage, saying I will be with you forever, no matter what. I see the value in that, but I also see the value in say, hey, we be together until you don't want to be with me anymore, or I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't see a problem with that.
I think Steven he asked if it was a religious thing before, and I think I don't know, I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it started as a religious thing to get married, and for that to be, like, marriage was religious.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case, but
Well, I think that's just like the
I think he's right.
in being getting married and saying you'll be with somebody forever no matter what. I think that is the strength of being with somebody, is that when shit hits the fan and shit gets hard and most people would give up and you power through that shit, and then you know that you have somebody at your back who you can rely on, somebody you can traverse the like trials and tribulations of life with, instead of somebody who's at any sign of trouble is just going to bounce and move on to somebody else.
Yeah,
I think it's that sense of security and that life partner type number is why people do it. But I agree. I think it should be up to the individual. Like me personally, I've always wanted to be a one and done type guy, but I'm not going to hold anybody else accountable if they don't. Like I know a lot of people will, if they see somebody that's in a monogamous relationship or doesn't value that, they judge them and write them off. And I don't think that's right. I think it's everybody's life, and if they can make it work with multiple people, fucking let them. Who cares?
I know how my heart works, and I could not do it. I 100% am. I start getting into someone, and I want that to be that. I want to be, obviously someone that treats me right, unlike someone we know that we don't speak of her name.
She shall who shall say her name.
One time I bought this girl, we were long distance. Wow. I bought this girl these like really cool light up like rose things that were in these balloons. It was this huge romantic thing. All she had to do was attach a couple things. She didn't need tools, anything. Just 2 minutes of putting something together. It was this awesome romantic gesture. and she didn't talk about it. And a week later, I asked her, I was like, what, did you ever get that? She goes, yeah, I threw it away. I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, I threw it away. I didn't want to deal with it. And that should have been sign number 7 or 12. And I still
point.
powered through
I'm mind
that.
blown. You never told me this.
Yeah,
I'm actually,
There's a lot of things I've like.
You try not to tell us. Hey,
Yeah.
hit me up, LaCroix.
Hey,
Just-
hook it up with the young homeboy too.
Yeah, I got you guys.
Grassy.
It's PTSD of like, and it was long
I
distance.
know
So
you guys
I
see
was
the upgrade.
trying to do cute things because I missed her and wanted to do
Thoughtful
wanted to
fucking
be-
things.
Yeah. So, and
Hashtag LaCroix in the comments.
I just told I don't know if I've said her name on this, so I just will not say her name. The girl that I'm talking to now, I just told her about that the other day, and she goes, I want to meet her. She goes, put me in a room with her for 5 minutes because I do sweet things for her. And I was like, I'd rather just spend time with you. I'd rather not even
I am
deal with that.
very confused by that, dude, because that is.
That
I never heard about that, and that's fucking hateful.
Talking
that's not
about it
like,
now,
oh, I don't really feel
spiteful.
that
Yeah.
is hateful.
I think I did block that out because it literally is like almost making me tear up because I remember how miserable I felt, and I just tried to not think about it. But yeah, so thanks, guys.
That's
Get
good
over
old
here.
fashioned. She did not like you.
Yeah, and yeah,
That's not even like unhealthy relationship. That is like I fucking hate you.
It's
We
like,
can-
break up with me already.
Yeah,
Respect,
I respect her for that.
well, okay, so just to touch on all of the shitty things, because there's plenty more shitty things, and which led to me not acting great in the relationship. I ended up snooping through her phone and doing things I'm not proud of because of so many lies and manipulations, and that just put me in a terrible headspace, and I wasn't doing things.
Did
I'm
she
proud of.
gaslight you?
All the way?
Oh,
she was
you were
talking to
dating
her,
Chase.
She was talking to her ex the whole time, and they'd be like literally sexting and just shitty. And
Oh, she was a hornball.
yeah, not for me.
That's
Not
what I
for
was-
me.
That's what I was leading to.
Yeah. Anyway, push came to shove, and we end things. I think it was like mutual, but I knew deep down that she'd come back and want to be with me, and I knew deep down that I was better than that. I deserved better. Once we broke things off, it was like a fucking switch, and I was like, oh, and I burst out the bubble. I was like, oh, that was awful. I don't want to do that.
And that didn't even take that long. It took maybe a couple weeks, and you were like, yeah, that was insane.
It was almost instant. It was
Yeah.
literally almost instant because there was so much turmoil at the end of like almost ending and me feeling like shit. I think that was like the me
you kind
understanding
of went
over
through
time.
it before.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when it officially happened, I think it
snap.
was like literally
It's
thanks.
snap.
Yeah. I realized it. Anyway, she never bought me anything really like for Christmas or my birthday. She then bought me months after we broke up, a turntable.
Wasn't there something before that?
I've seen that in your room.
So, yeah, a record player for those of you that don't know what that is. There might have
I
been.
think there was one other gift.
Yeah,
It might
she
have been-
had the nerve to try and make a comeback multiple times.
Well, she was like messaging me on stuff, and I blocked her on. She'd message me on
everything.
Snapchat, I block her. Message me on
Next
Instagram, I
email.
block her. Emailed me, I blocked the email. Then I don't know if she made another email or if she used an old one or something. Emailed me on a second email account while sending me an Amazon thing of a turntable because I had talked about wanting one for a long time. I like records. I have a collection of old records. And said, I'm so sorry I didn't buy you something for Christmas or my birthday and blah, blah, blah. You know, I know you wanted this. So I didn't block that email. I was
Yeah.
thinking, if I'm going to get gifts, I might as well ride this
Yeah,
shit
might
out.
have- yep.
And then didn't get another
I
gift.
told Blakeson to email her back and say, keep that shit coming if you want me to even think about getting back with you. But he never did. He was better than that, which I don't respect. I'm not going to lie. I've thought about that since, and I was like, dude, fuck that. After everything she did to you, I would say exploit the fuck out of her finally trying to take steps back and realize what she had done wrong, but whatever.
I feel,
confused.
at the end of the day, I feel incredibly thankful that I went through all that. There were plenty of things that I never did shitty things. Like I never did anything to hurt her. I just handled situations poorly because I felt so shitty and not knowing what to do because I wanted her to feel the way about me that I did about her. But learn things about what I want and you know things that I try to implore now. The thing that stuck with me,
guy.
yeah, the thing that stuck with me is her ex treated her like shit, and she, I think it was after everything was done, told me that was a lot of the reason she treated me like shit, and it blew my mind. I was like,
It's one
that
of the
should
most
be
piss poor excuses I've ever heard.
yeah, that
Sad.
and I used that in the things she did, and think about that often now with how I treat who I'm talking to, or even if it wasn't her, just how I treat people. That should be a reason to treat people better, not also do the thing, not keep the cycle going.
You can tell one thing that I've noticed in the dating world is, and just in real life and IRL with adults and friends, is birds of a feather flock together. To me, it was a red flag that her best friend was kind of a piece of shit. And I was
kind of mean.
Yeah, kind of a scumbaggery. And I was like, well, nice, good, lovely people don't hang out with scumbags. So that to me is a red flag of, maybe we're not seeing her true colors. 100%.
Yeah.
Ended up being 100% the case that they were pretty much just alike of, just immature and unkind.
Yeah. You live and you learn.
Well, I'll throw a little change up in there.
Yeah,
For
do it,
a
dude.
man who technically has never dated, what's your guys' best pickup lines on a first date?
I've got a good one.
I do have one. I got to remember how it goes. So you go.
So normally if I see a girl like across the bar or restaurant or wherever I'm at, if I see a girl, it'll be an obvious, like, I'll just like make a little eye contact.
This number?
and a couple grunts.
And I'm licking my lips and I'm looking at her through my eyebrows. and I'm doing this foot this way.
In charge.
It'll be like a little subtle little eye contact guy. And then it'll be pretty obvious because girls, that you know who you are. If you don't look away, it'll just be a little prolonged little 5-second guy
Damn.
just looking. And then I'll go up to him and I say, hey, what's up? My name's Chase. What's your name? And then
Great
And
job.
then by the way that he looks, that works.
and then then we date.
For us
Fucking
regular run of the mill fucking ugly ass bitches like me,
You're hot.
I am 5'2" bitch. I can't do that. If I walk up to a girl and just say, "Hey, I'm Blakeston. How are you?" They're looking for me because their eyesight's above my head. So it's a whole thing. Yeah. And I'm like, "Hey, down here."
Hey.
No, it does work well for Chase. My favorite thing back whenever I was fully single and looking to mingle was the 2-week span when Chase was also single. And Chase and I would go out and it was so much fun talking to girls in groups of 2 or going on double dates, just literally not caring that they're even there and just having fun.
Having dates with each other. There was girls there.
There were a couple girls there.
Whatever.
Yeah. For pickup lines, my pickup line is no pickup line at all. It is just talking to someone and talking to them like I would talk to a guy or talk to anyone I'm not interested in is the best. What works well for me is not thinking, oh, this girl's attractive, let me talk to her and try and get her to like me, but thinking I'm here to have fun and if she's interested, cool.
Yeah.
And that is the only thing that
Confidence
ever works for
number.
me.
You just talk to the one you're interested in, you talk to the other friend.
You talk to the ugly friend, have sex with the ugly friend, marry the ugly friend, and then
get a divorce
the
for
ugly friend, and then bang her hot friend once.
Yeah.
This is so stupid.
Banger once.
All that. Kids and wife and house and all that just to
12 years
quite
later.
the elaborate pickup.
Yeah. Let me tell you, it works. Maybe.
Have you guys ever seen a group of orca whales swarming and hunting as a pack to get a sea lion up on the iceberg?
That's us four on
Because that breaks the ice.
I'm picked up.
That was a pickup
he picked
line.
me up right now.
Yeah, have me.
I don't think I've ever actually used a pickup line. I don't think those are real things except for via text.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
you
a
go.
good
I don't
point.
think real people go out, and maybe that's like a pretty privileged thing.
I think.
I don't know.
I think an unattractive guy using a pickup line would be worse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
a
a
good
pickup,
point.
like
I don't know.
a lot, it's usually just confidence of introducing yourself and talking
Yeah.
to someone.
Yeah.
Just be
A
regular.
literal pickup line.
My friend Preston had one. He would say, "Hey, I painted my room. You want to go see it?" And it
Yeah, but
worked. He
that's
was a handsome motherfucker. It worked.
Preston was
Or-
one of the prettiest men I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Borderline, throw a wig on him and it's a chick.
Yeah.
Blake's and your friend, oi, bitch.
Oi, Steven and I were out with a buddy of mine, and he was from England, so he talked funny.
He still is.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
He still is from England.
He's been from England his whole life, and he
still is.
the was is the past tense of him not really being a friend anymore. But yeah, I see where we're going with this.
No, shut up. Stevens was funnier.
Yeah, he's good job. And so we're out, and Daniel goes, or I think I kind of
It was
mumbled,
because we always say, hello, hey, how are you? How is she?
Hello.
I wonder how she is. We always say
something like that, but there was more to it, more to the specific thing that was said in that moment. But yeah, something to that effect. I think I said, hey, girl, or something like that, but just to Steven and Daniel. So she was far away, but it was me joking as if I would say that. And this dude goes, no. It's, oi, bitch.
Give me oi.
And Steven and I lost it. We fucking lost
That's
it.
a fucking good one.
I don't even remember if it worked or not because it was so funny.
I don't think she could hear it, but I think it was, I remember feeling like, oh, fuck, that was kind of loud, but he didn't care. And I was like, yeah, Andy's
respect
English.
it.
That had
It's
such
hilarious.
a profound impact on me. I carved it into a pumpkin that Halloween. My pumpkin said, oi, bitch.
Oh, pickup. We're talking about pickup lines. When I was in college, I played college soccer, and my two best friends were from Germany and from England, Daniel and Tim. And we would go out,
Daniel and Timothy?
and Timothy Jones, and we would go out.
Tim Jones, he went to
Park Hill with us.
Yeah, now we're talking. Tim Closter was his name, and we would go out, and our pickup line, it worked 100% of the time. It never not worked.
Wow.
We would go up, we'd see two hot girls. It would be me and Tim or me and Dan, and we would walk up behind them close enough to where they could hear us talking, and we would just talk in a loud voice, and then they would turn around because they would hear his accent.
Nice.
It worked 100% of the time.
Oh.
Conversation, literally just, hey, hey, how you doing today? Fuck, And then
Oh, he's
next-
Australian.
No, that was English.
That's my bad.
Yeah, good job about that.
Oh, he's from New
Sounded
Zealand?
like it.
Oh, yeah, he's from Connecticut. So anyway, it would work 100% of the time. All right, so we're going to finish up on one piece of advice because we're experts, and by experts, we're idiots.
Village idiots, the four of us.
My advice when it comes to relationships, which I have no right to say, is if you're in any kind of a tiff with someone or you're at any kind of disagreement, something that I've been trying to do is approach it from a standpoint of how can we come to a mutual understanding, not how can I prove to this person that what I think should have happened or should be done is the right way of action. And that has helped tenfold. Even in disagreements with the girl I'm talking with right now, I cooled down 30 minutes of whatever we were disagreeing about. And I think, it kind of makes sense that she was thinking this. Yep. She's not 100% right, but I definitely wasn't either. And coming to an agreement, and she has countless times said, it's frustrating that you think of things like this because she's used to arguing with people. So
Why is that frustrating?
Frustrating in a good way. She's like, it's frustrating that you are understanding and easy to talk to because I think jokingly, she's used to having an out, whereas I don't give her that out because we effectively communicate.
Punk her ass
She's
into
used to going rounds.
Punk her ass into healthy communication. Got her.
Which I have, I'm not perfect and I'm not communicating healthy all the time, but that thought process has helped tenfold. And it feels good to not win something, but to come to a mutual understanding.
Kyle, you're getting ready to get married. What do you?
Yeah,
what's your
that
piece
is
of advice?
pretty much my exact same thing. It's just healthy communication is key, and it's if you're at a point in your relationship where you just don't want to compromise, there's probably something that you need to discuss and either not date that person anymore, or there's something bigger that you need to discuss, because you should want to be in the position where both of you understand that, okay, this isn't that important to me, so I need to compromise, but they also need to be at the point where they're willing to compromise on something, and it's not getting punked and it's not punking them. It's just when you have something that's important to you, kind of hold your ground and discuss that, and then if they're willing to compromise for that, you're in a good spot, and vice versa. If you're willing to compromise and give up on something for them, you're in a good spot.
Agreed.
If you're not, then there's some things you need to discuss or just move on.
Steve?
I don't know if I have any advice, but kind of what I seek and kind of work towards is just becoming the best you can be because I mean, it's beneficial for you. It's beneficial for your partner and your family. And I mean, emotionally, in your career, your daily routine, just being the best you can be, working on yourself because it's just beneficial for the whole family.
Yeah.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
Chase.
Yeah, I think there's nothing more important than communication. And like you said, Blakeston, being able to have a discussion with. So one thing that I've learned is I don't want like any sort of disagreement where two people are talking. I don't want it to be a matter of who was able to formulate their thoughts better and say things better. It should be a matter of this is the truth for this person. This is the truth for this person. You know, it shouldn't be the bottleneck of, you know, knowing the amount of words you know and how you're able to get your idea across. Then whoever speaks better is going to be right or whatever. It should be a matter of where you're coming from, kind of like you said, like having an open heart to being willing to compromise. But as you get better, as you force yourself to communicate, you will get better at being able to express your emotions, your thoughts, understand, and you won't get to a point where it's like 30 minutes later, you realize something or think about something. It's a fucking skill to be practiced, to be able to communicate with your loved one of, here's what I'm feeling right now. It helps you be a self-aware to assess your own feelings and why you're feeling them. And then you have somebody who's willing to grow and learn with you and get through that obstacle together. And it's something that's practiced. You get better at communicating as you communicate. Yeah. And I push the same thing with my daughter. It doesn't even have to be with a loved one. Or it doesn't have to be a romantic partner. Right. It can be anybody.
And it's also, I think, an important thing too is to talk about the little things. Like, it's not just the big conversations, the heavy conversations that need to happen, but the little things, the leaving the toothbrush on the counter, or, you know, whatever the little thing is, because those things add up. And then when
pushing
there
the
is
Keurig machine back in its corner,
rinsing off your dishes that your roommate still refuses to do.
Those those things.
That's not true.
When there is a big conversation and it, you know, there's a lot of emotions involved, just build resentment, and that's not healthy. So just having those little conversations and being understanding that it's not nitpicking, but, you know, whatever that little thing is matters to the other person, and, you know, vice versa for you.
Literal biggest thing that I disagree with when people talk about relationships is that you shouldn't want to change for someone, or you shouldn't change for someone. I couldn't disagree with that more. I think with literally everything, it's not black and white, and you should want to change for someone.
You mean like adapt?
Yeah.
Or
learn and grow. You
Just
should be changing, as
everything.
like you said, Stephen, becoming the best version of yourself. That just because somebody else is there holding you accountable, that should be the same thing.
Yeah, and you're talking to someone that you're learning a completely different person. Yeah. And to not want to adapt and learn the things that they like, maybe you want to do certain things, but they prefer this other thing, compromise. It's just like everything. And to not want to adapt and grow in a healthy way, obviously, if they're like, I don't like this about you, and they're just assholes, and it's something that you enjoy, or, you know, there's
you're not going to be the same person 5 years from now.
Yeah.
You're either getting better or worse. Get better.
And so I think it's a big deal to want to change for someone in healthy ways, just like you would want to change as an individual and grow as an individual. So
what do you guys think? What has led you to happiness in relationships? What has led you to happiness with yourself?
You guys.
You, the viewer, the listener. What has led you guys to happiness, and have you seen work for you in your relationships, for people who have been together for, dude, there's people, we were at a wedding over the summer, me, Steven, and Blakeston, and they would have if you're married, get up and go dance. And they said, if you've been married less than 5 years, go sit down, and then some would leave. If you've been married less than 10 years, go sit down, some would leave. If you've been married less than 20 years, some would go leave. Anyways, it got to the end. There was this couple there who had been married for over 50 years.
It's like 57 years or something.
Yeah, so if you guys are out there and you've had a healthy, long, successful marriage and or relationship, what has led you guys to be able to work together? And what have you learned from something in your past relationships that you want to fix for your next relationship? I'm curious, because I do want to learn from you guys. You have a lot to offer.
So leave that down in the comments, and we're going to get ready to wrap this up. But I hope you enjoyed this podcast. And if you did, leave a comment with what Chase was saying. And, you know, we just talked about a bunch of guys having relationship problems, or not for me.
Or not.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Don't forget, go check out the Sexy Mover calendar if you're sexually attracted and want to see blue collar workers. The 2024 Sexy Mover calendar is going to be the fucking hottest one yet. I'm telling you guys right now. Go check out the Patreon. Go check out the Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, anything and everything. We love you guys. We got merch.
It's not only a great gift or a great just present for yourself, but it's a good gag gift. So if you have an overly straight male in your life that takes offense to anything that is emasculating, get him this. You know, let him know that he too can be kind of gay like us.
Yeah, seriously.
You might want to get him two because you'll probably get his all sticky.
You need to, for the calendar, you need to get yours so you can get yours.
Yeah.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
That's it.